I hadn't been back to Oakwood Cemetery since my grandmother's funeral in 2017. I always had an excuse: work, weather, guild. But last Saturday, something nudged me there. A dream maybe, a sense of unfinished business. The graveyard hadn't changed. Same moss-covered angels, same crooked iron gate, the same silence that felt to full. I followed the path to the east wing, past row after row until I reached the spot. Plot 82, row C, but the headstone wasn't right. It still read Margaret Langley, beloved grandmother, 1941 to 2017. But the photo embedded in the stone, it wasn't her. It was me, smiling. I stepped back, confused. I wiped my eyes. No mistake, same haircut, same scar under the chin from a bike crash in 3rd grade. But I'd never taken that photo. I'd never worn that shirt. A shiver ran through me. Maybe it was vandalism, a sick prank. I snapped a picture with my phone and left. That night, I barely slept. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw that smiling version of myself, frozen in stone, lips curled to wide. The next day, I called the cemetery office. A tired-sounding woman named Linda answered. I explained the headstone issue and she asked me to spell the name. A moment passed. "We have Margaret Langley listed," she said, "but there's no record of a photo change, and we don't replace stones without a family request." "I didn't request anything," I said. "And that photo isn't her, it's me." She paused again. "Sir, are you all right? It says here the image was updated last week, approved and submitted by Elliot Langley." My blood went cold. That's my name. I drove to the office that afternoon. Linda met me at the front desk and pulled up the paperwork. There it was, a signed request form, with my name, phone number, and signature to replace the photo with a more appropriate likeness. It even included a digital image, the same grinning version of me now on the stone. But I had never submitted it. I said so. She showed me the security cam photo from the submission day. It was me, in a grey hoodie-eyed, never owned, looking straight at the camera, smiling. I left shaken, thinking maybe someone had stolen my identity. Maybe it was a cruel scam, a deep fake. I filed a report, called my bank, checked my locks. That night, an envelope slid under my apartment door. No name, just a folded sheet of paper. Inside was a printout of a burial receipt. Plot 83, row C, right next to my grandmother. Burial scheduled for next Thursday. Name on the receipt, Elliot Langley. Age, 31. Cause of death, pending. I nearly threw up. I ran back to the cemetery at dawn. Plot 83 had always been empty, just grass and weeds. But now, it had a fresh mound of dirt, a new wooden marker at the head, reserved. I checked the date carved into it, this Thursday. That was 5 days away. I begged Linda to explain. She swore she hadn't authorized any burial, but the system showed a scheduled service, minimal attendance. As requested by the deceased in pre-need documents, she read, "But I'm not dead." I yelled. She stared at me like she didn't believe me. "Maybe this is a prank," she muttered. "We'll contact our headstone provider. It'll get sorted." But I knew it wouldn't. That night, I sat in my room and stared at the photo I'd taken of the grave. Something had changed. The name on the stone now read, Elliot Langley, loving grandson, 1993 to 2025. I zoomed in. The date of death was this Thursday. The photo was still my face, but the eyes looked wrong. Like they'd stopped being mine. I stopped sleeping. Every night I sat at my kitchen table, watching the front door, knife on the table, phone in hand. But deep down, I knew something worse than a stalker or scammer was happening. Something preparing. On Wednesday, the doorbell rang. A man in a suit stood outside with a clipboard. "Here to confirm burial preferences for tomorrow," he said. "I'm not dead," I told him. He blinked slowly, like I'd said something impolite. "You requested minimal preparation. Closed casket. Anonymous service. Is that still accurate?" "I'm not dead." He nodded. "Not yet," and left. At 3:12 a.m., I heard my apartment door unlock. I had bolted it, dead-latched it, It creaked open. Footsteps padded in, soft and bare. I gripped the knife. My breath froze in my lungs. And then I saw him dot me, the version from the gravestone photo, wearing that grey hoodie. Same face, but no warmth. Eyes like damp ash. Skin pale and waxy. He smiled. I didn't move. I've been waiting. He whispered, for you to accept it. I don't remember the rest. I must have passed out or blacked out. But when I woke up, the sun was rising and the apartment was empty. The door was still locked, and my phone had a new notification. Thank you for confirming your final wishes, Mr. Langley. Service scheduled as planned. It's Thursday now. The time of the service is in 2 hours. I don't want to go outside, because I think if I step onto that grass, even by accident, I won't. He come back, and worse, something else will.